Alright, so we are joined here by United States Marine recruiter, Sergeant Helmer. So, what do you think people's first thoughts are when they first join the Marines?
I think that people when they first join the Marines are, well, at least in this region, are pretty educated as far as to what they're going to go into. We do a pretty good job as far as like the Marine recruiters here to emphasize what you're going to be going into and the follow-on training and everything like that. But I think the overall concept of somebody going into the Marines is, it's a sense of pride because you are going into something that you've always wanted to do or that you have an interest in. But I think that at the same time there is a little bit of uncertainty and also a little bit of nervousness just because it is a new concept, it is a new thing.
What do you think people's main fear is besides getting killed or injured?
I think that is kind of like the main fear. I've been out here as a recruiter for 2 years, and I think that that really is the big focus is a loved one being injured or heaven forbid laid to rest at a young age. I think that is the really big fear when it comes to the military in general and specifically the Marine Corps. I think that. Another thing that people fear is that that their loved one is just going to be toting around a weapon and having to fire at people, when in reality not all the Marine Corps jobs revolve around that at all. So
What do you think normal Marines' thoughts are on their first months of being deployed and their last months of being deployed?
I guess I can talk from a personal experience on this. So as far as like the first couple months being deployed, it was different experience. You see a different culture. You start talking with people, the common people and stuff like that, and you kind of start to pick up on what kind of lives they live. And then I would say, I guess during the end of the deployments, it's more or less like you're ready kind of to go back and go back to, come back to the States or go back to base and kind of decompress, relax a little bit, and then, depending on how your unit is, maybe get ready for the next deployment that goes, or, get ready to fix up the gear and get back into the swing of normal Marine Corps.
A lot of people, when they think of Marines, they think more ruthless and uncivilized guys that just join to kill people and just to satisfy the lust for blood.
Mm-hmm.
How many Marines do you know that actually follow those things?
Not really a lot, honestly. I mean, you're always gonna have like those one or two people that are just kind of out there. But for the most part, Marines are pretty civilized guys. You basically belong to an organization that is built around camaraderie and brotherhood, and you're treated like family when you go there. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's more of like bloodlust or anything like that. I think that the misconception that is for the Marines is that they have a really big sense of pride. They're very prideful in the organization that they belong to. And a lot of people see that as arrogance or cockiness and stuff like that, and at times it does get that way, but for the most part, I mean, it's all about belonging to the organization that is given so much to the country, and being able to look on that and know that you belong to something that has such a rich history like that is very empowering and very it really hits home to these, to a young 17 or 18-year-old Marine who just joined. So,
Personally, what was your reason for joining, if you don't mind me asking?
so my personal reason of why I wanted to join is kind of just what we were talking about with the pride of belonging. I was always on sports teams, and I really liked engaging with other people. I wasn't really an outgoing kind of person. I kind of stuck to myself. So I definitely knew that I had to break out of that shell somehow. And I knew that at that moment, life really wasn't challenging for me. I didn't really want to go to school per se. So Marine Corps kind of gave me the opportunity to say, hey, here's 4 years. Here's the next 4 years. You're going to be getting paid. You're going to be getting, a skill set. And then from there, after the 4 years, if you decide that you want to keep going, then you can re-enlist. And if you don't, then you have educational opportunities that the Marine Corps is going to provide you. So that way, if you want to go and get your education, then so be it. Or if you want to go out and go into the workforce, then you can put United States Marine on your resume, and that usually gets you into quite a few places just because of what the Marines are known for.
So why did you choose the Marines and not any other branches?
So it's gonna sound a little bit of a biased. I had talked to every military recruiter that I could back in high school. Military really wasn't a big thing for me. It was never something that really crossed my mind. My buddy had joined the Marines. He told me, hey, you come out, do a workout with us, see if you like it or not. I went to a workout. I absolutely fell in love with the workouts that we did. The challenge of it, the camaraderie that goes along with those. And then, just talking to all the other branches and stuff, they were they were giving me stuff that I didn't necessarily need. They wanted to give me educational opportunities, which I told you I didn't really want to go to college. They were, giving me, bonuses and money. Really, I mean, money's money. It can give you, short-term happiness, but it can't really, give you that full fulfillment. So that's really what I was looking for, and I seen the Marine Corps as a really big challenge, like the biggest challenge that the military could offer. I mean, it has the longest boot camp. It's, they come across as, the hardest of the hard in the military. So for me, it was more or less just a really big challenge for me to take on, and that's why ultimately I chose the Marine Corps, is because they were there to want to better me as a person, whereas the other branches were kind of just throwing stuff at me and was just like, hey, do you want this, or hey, do you want that? And it's like, no, I want to actually excel as a person, not as just getting extra money or educational opportunities.
So when you first joined, how many years did you originally sign up for?
So I originally signed up for 4 years. I didn't plan on really going farther than that. I had a really big self-esteem issue where, going into things and the confidence level as well, I didn't really think that I was going to make it too far. And then I really started to pick up steam right around my 2 or 3 year mark. Really started to pick up in rank and stuff like that. So that kind of helped with making the decision that after 4 years, I wanted to continue another 4. Not to mention just being, it's something different about being around Marines. Being a recruiter, it's a little bit different. I mean, you have your group of recruiters that you can talk to and stuff like that, but you're mostly dealing with 17, 18-year-old kids, whereas like the Fleet Marine Corps, everybody has like that common mindset, that Marine mindset. So you can get into an argument with somebody, with a Marine at work, and then later on in the day, be best buds and go and hang out or go bowling or whatever the case may be. So so that was really the turning point for me. Is I just love being around Marines. I love being around the atmosphere of it and stuff. So that was a pretty easy choice after the 4 years that, hey, let's continue to do this and see where I can go. Not only that, but when I was younger, when I was going into my 2 or 3 year mark there, I kind of made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to quit the Marine Corps unless, one, I became injured to where I couldn't fulfill my duties, or two, the Marine Corps, just didn't need me anymore. But that was pretty much it. So.
So say if a civilian like myself called you a grunt, a leather neck, or a jawhead, would you personally take offense to that?
No. I think that it's pretty, we don't really get called too many called out too much unless it's a veteran Marine, and it's usually out of respect and stuff like that. A lot of people think that calling Marines grunts or leathernecks or jarheads or whatever is an offensive to us. It's really not. It's part of the heritage, and anybody that kind of gets upset about that kind of stuff is in my mind doesn't really doesn't encompass the whole mindset of a Marine. You know what I mean? We have those nicknames for a reason. Some better than others. But at the same time, I think that being able to embrace all that and see it as as the Marine culture is the real more important thing.
When you see all these war and military movies, and what do you think when you see them?
So the actual military movies, I mean, the newer ones that are coming out, and even some of the old ones, they have certain military aspects about them that are true. But like the warfare concept of it, I mean, the explosions and stuff like that, some of those are real, some of them are really fake. I mean, for instance, you have a grenade that goes off, it really doesn't make a big explosion like that. It doesn't like make fire or anything like that. It's really just a explosion and then smoke. Hollywood will hypes up the stuff for dramatic effect. But other than that, I would say it's pretty close to the real thing. I mean, a lot of production teams and directors and stuff like that actually sit down with real military forces and make sure that they get most of the concept down with of course the dramatic effect that movies have, so that way you actually go and see the movie.
Well, thank you for spending time with me, and I guess that's all I have.
All right, cool, man. Well, it was great. It was great talking with you too, and definitely if you guys have any more questions or anything like that, just let me know.
All right.